Warwickshire at full strength, a formidable one-day outfit with their spearhead Alan Donald in the lineup. And as for Gloucestershire, well, they decided to rest Jack Russell and gave a first-team debut to the England under-19 wicketkeeper Chris Reed. Well, Warwickshire won the toss. They decided to bat first, and let's pick up the action early in their innings.
Smashed away behind square for the first boundary of the afternoon to Nick Knight. Jonathan Lewis dropping short, but Warwickshire have had to wait until the 6th over. Well, it's unfortunate for Mike Smith. Almost perfect Yorker, but Neil Smith managed to angle that away fine of the third man. Hesitation again, but Smith accelerated. Sean Young's not going to be able to cut that off, and Warwickshire will pick up 5. There's a short boundary down there on the leg side. Neil Smith knew that very well. That well-taken single will bring up Warwickshire's 50. It's taken them just 52 balls. After a sluggish start, they've accelerated well. 50 up in 8 overs and 4 balls. It's wide of third man. Another Neil Smith boundary. He's fast catching up Nick Knight, and he's faced 13 fewer balls. High in the air. The no ball has been called, so the batsman can stay there because Gloucestershire only had 3 fielders in the circle. They can't believe it. Mark Lane can't believe it. Sean Young is very annoyed, and the long leg Rob Cunliffe now making his way into the circle, but it's all too late. Every run could be vital for Warwickshire today. Diving in vain, Jonathan Lewis. Very short boundary down on that main scoreboard side of the ground. That's gone high in the air. Martin Ball's called for it and taken a very good catch. It was always going to be very difficult running backwards, but that's a really magnificent catch by Martin Ball, particularly with a damaged ankle. Warwickshire lose their first wicket with the score on 89.
I think Smith will be a little disappointed with this shot. They've been going along so well. And all credit to Ball, who's come on at a difficult time when these two were really starting to blossom. And he ends his innings with this wonderful catch.
Neil Smith gone for 39. He faced just 38 balls. Warwickshire 89 for 1. Easily taken. A brief stay in the middle for Dougie Brown. Mark Lane picking up the catch. This really is an excellent spell from Martin Ball. He picks up his 2nd wicket. Warwickshire now 94 for 2.
He really deserves this. He's bowled so well. He's given the ball a lot of flight, a lot of air. And you see that Dougie Brown just leant back a little on the shot and lofted the ball to mid-wicket.
Mark Lane taking the catch comfortably enough. Dougie Brown missing out. Just 1 from his 7 balls received. Warwickshire 2 down for 94. David Hemp, the new batsman for Warwickshire, coming in at the fall of Dougie Brown's wicket. Had a slow start to his career with Warwickshire at the start of this 1997 season, but has flourished in the second half of the season. One of the best stroke makers in the game. I guess from here, Tim, you're looking at around 230, 240, hopefully.
Yes, you know, we've got some good stroke makers coming down the order. A key to our sort of performance in these competitions will be the running between the wickets, and these two guys are particularly quick. Dominic Osler, Trevor Penny coming in further down the order as well.
A 50 for Nick Knight. It's taken him 71 balls. He's only reached the boundary on a couple of occasions, but that's an important 50 and an important building block in this foundation for Warwickshire. Lofted up into the air. Elaine calls for it and takes it himself. David Hemp departs the scene for just 8. That's an important wicket for Gloucestershire, not what Warwickshire would have wanted. They're now 110 for 3.
I think we just see there the effect of the pressure that's been built over the last few overs. We talked about the run rate being pegged back, and David Hemp there just seeing the ball a little bit short. Fancy getting hold of it and trying to hit a boundary. And the ball's on a little bit quicker than he thought there. Comfortably held. There's a big risk of collisions on the cards there, but Michael Lane kept his eye on the ball and took a good catch.
Smashed away through extra cover. A dive from Davis, but he can only parry it over the rope.
Wonderful shot by Nick Knight. He certainly got that off the middle of the bat, found the gap on the offside, and that flew to the boundary. 4 valuable runs.
Clever stroke. Great effort that it was from Lewis. It was always just out of his reach. Bit of swing there, and all it's done, it seems to me, is help Osler. He's got an enormous amount of bat on that. Wonderful stroke. Really is a clean hit from the most impressive cricketer. Very well picked up by Osler. Another good example of the way these two are picking the gaps now and playing with such certainty. That's a real problem for Mark Lane. It's virtually impossible to set a field to two players who have the range of stroke of Osler and Knight. Well caught. But a great pair of hands, Richard Davis. It was a very good slip fielder for Kent. Did the job briefly for Warwickshire before moving down to Bristol. Good reactions. It's the end, and the great frustration for Dominic Osler. He was just beginning to enjoy himself.
He certainly was, looking for that leg side again. Not quite getting it in the middle, but a wonderful catch. And Dominic Osler goes for 24 of 26 balls. And a vital innings it's been for Warwickshire.
It's Osler gone now for 24, and it's 175 for 4. Here's Trevor Penny, and he's as quick between the wickets, or even quicker perhaps than Dominic Osler. Good partnership between Osler and Knight that was worth 65. Came in just 63 balls and recovered the impetus for the Bears. Oh, 4. And 100. What a good innings. What a good player this man is. He's come back from injury, and with a run of very consistent batting has reminded everybody that he's a top-class performer.
He would have come in today under a fair amount of under a bit of pressure. Warwickshire really need to win this game today, and he's really proven to be such a class player. He's played very much the anchor role this afternoon, while the other players have been a little more aggressive batting around him. And it's an absolutely superb knock. 101 not out.
And Smith has that on. Here comes Knight again, and that's gone and must be gone. George Sharp calls for the third umpire, but I think Knight knows he's halfway back to the pavilion. It was going to need the direct hit, and it got it. Tim Hancock's the man out at mid-on. Robin, where's your money?
Well, that's out. No money. Unfortunately, he's just a yard short there. He's coming to the end of his long innings here of 36 overs, and probably had it been a little earlier in his knock, he might have got there. But that's a fantastic innings, and he'll be disappointed with being run out for that.
This is very good work from Tim Hancock. He knows he's under enormous pressure. All the Gloucestershire fielders know that from these two running between the wickets. Not only has he kept his head, but he's kept his direction with the throw. Knight goes for 102. It's 197 now for 5. Graham Welsh is the new batsman. A resourceful all-rounder, 25-year-old. He's given it everything. Hit it so hard that the man out at cover had 2 yards to get to his right and never threatened it. The last over of the innings then. Sean Young to bowl it, and Sean Young to pick up the wicket of the man who's sent for the new bat.
That was a lovely change of pace from Sean Young. Slightly slower ball. And you can see Welsh giving himself a little bit of room and probably getting the bottom of the bat, and well taken by Davis.
Richard Davis, the catcher. Welsh gone. It's 215 for 6. Ashley Giles, the new batsman for Warwickshire. It's a thick enough edge to allow the fielder to have some say in the matter. That brings to a close the 40 overs by Warwickshire that could mean so much in this year's battle for the AXA Life League title. 221 for 6 is the sum total of their effort.
Well, that total of 221 for 6 by Warwickshire, a challenging effort, led of course by Nick Knight's 102. Good effort by him, with good support all the way down from Smith and Osler and Penny. As for Gloucestershire's bowling figures, well, the man who stood out amongst all others was Martin Ball with his 8 overs no maidens, 2 for 35. So that meant that Gloucestershire needed 222 to win, a stiff ask, and we'll see how they got on right after this break.
And the first bowler we're going to see is England's one-day selection for Sharjah, Dougie Brown. He'll be bowling from the pavilion end. Gloucestershire requiring 222 for victory. Three men inside the circle on the offside and 2 on the leg side. Lucky with the weather in the Midlands today. Blustery, quite cool, but the sun's been out most of the time. Good crowd in. Dawson on his way. That's gone fine, and with Alan Donald wide at long leg, we'll go down to the boundary for 4 leg byes.
Important runs for Gloucestershire, albeit leg byes, but they all count. That's off the thigh pad, just eluding the diving Piper.
Diving small, but Gladstone can't get there. Beautifully timed.
One of the hardest shots in cricket, the on drive, but Tim Hancock, full face of the bat, finding the gap between the wickets and mid-on. Beautifully executed shot.
Small going deep now. So already Warwickshire reduced to just the 4 men inside the circle. With Dawson on strike, it's long off that goes out, and Small comes into the circle at mid-on. That's beaten him again. Not sure Neil Smith's got that quite right. Gloucestershire move on to 23 for no wicket. We're still in the 5th over. That's beautifully placed. Neil Smith had gone wider at mid-on. It's a fabulous piece of timing.
Yes, that is a superb shot, slightly over-pitched. Tim Hancock waiting for it, finding the gap between mid-on and mid-wicket. And really effortless shot, but racing away.
Race away fine for 4. Second boundary that's gone down to that position. Donald very wide at long leg.
Yes, again a bit wayward down the leg side. Hancock playing in fine leg glance. Alan Donald wide at fine leg, and then also hurrying to the boundary.
Well, this very good start by Gloucestershire's caused a rethink by Warwickshire. Neil Smith taking Dougie Brown out of the attack. Alan Donald coming on to bowl at the pavilion end. Warwickshire could do with a wicket here. Very good economy rate, almost spot on 4 and over. Be seeing plenty of Alan Donald next summer. The South Africans touring for full 5 Test match series before the Sri Lankans arrive to play in a triangular one-day tournament with South Africa and England, and a single Test match at the Oval in August. Edged and taken by Piper. A very quick delivery from Alan Donald undermined Dawson's confidence, and the very next ball he gets the outside edge. The first Gloucestershire wicket down with 43 on the board.
It was a superb delivery. The ball just held its line a little, and Dawson not quite getting his foot to the ball and going for a drive. It's a superb bit of bowling there from Donald.
Bobby Dawson gone for 15. It's 43 for 1. Tasmanian all-rounder Sean Young in at number 3 for Gloucestershire. He's had an excellent season for the West Country county. 27 years of age. be representing the county next season. Courtney Walsh returns from duty with the West Indies. That's a wicket maiden for Alan Donald. Very quick, very accurate. And too good for Bobby Dawson, and very nearly too good for Sean Young as well. Gloucestershire 43 for 1 from 9.
See, there's still plenty of movement with that new ball.
Flashed away. Donald's seen it all before. Bit of frustration there showing in Sean Young's play. He moves on to a pretty sketchy 5 so far. In the air, Osler's out there, and the end for Sean Young has come off the toe end of the bat. Frustration showing, and the second Gloucestershire wicket goes down. 12 overs completed, Gloucestershire 52 for 2.
Young will be disappointed with this shot, trying to go for the big shot. The ball turned slightly, and in the end, a super catch.
Comfortable catch for Dominic Osler. Sean Young out for 8. Gloucestershire 52 for 2. It's well played. Short boundary down to the pavilion at Edgbaston. Well, Neil Smith will be disgusted with this. Once in an over's bad enough, but to go down through the slip area for 4 twice in the same over, bad news indeed.
To leading edge, is it safe? No, it isn't. That's a terrific performance from Neil Smith, diving low to his right side, and Hancock pays really for closing the face on the ball. Warwickshire are on fire out there. Tim Hancock it is who's made the mistake, and Warwickshire are together in a huddle in delight.
Yeah, that's just turned a little bit, and trying to turn it probably a fraction too square and a bit of a leading edge. And Neil Smith, I think he wouldn't criticise me for saying he made exceptional ground there. Probably not the quickest off the mark, but he made really good ground there and took an excellent catch.
Hancock's gone for 29. It's 75 for 3.
For the captain and his team, the moment is drawing near.
Hello, hello. Hello, hello.
It's the final practice before the Ryder Cup, so who will be smiling come Valderrama? The 1-to-1 British Masters, sponsored by Scottish Life, Thursday at 10:30 on Sky Sports 1.
Billy's a gangster. Ran a club I used to play at for another gangster back in Miami. How is Momo these days?
The ball, make it particularly difficult for the new guy to work the ball around, although Mark Lane's obviously a talented player.
Oh, that's trouble if he hits. Didn't hit. Pressure being applied by Warwickshire and new batsman Mark Lane, almost causing a real problem for Church. Big smile on the face of the Warwickshire captain, so there ought to be. That's a super over. That's super shot. Just unceremoniously thumped down the ground. as the slightly decreasing Gloucestershire run rate as against the Warwickshire run rate was roared up at that stage. Oh, that's bad luck for Ashley Giles. A super start. He's got the Yorker bang on target, and it's been squirted for 4. Lovely stroke. A clever shot. He just made a fraction of space for himself by using his feet. That would have been around about a good length, and he turned it into a near half volley, flicked it away, and it brings up the 100 for Gloucester. Interesting too to look at the comparative score between the sides. Gloucestershire already have 21 to make up, let alone the worry of batting under pressure with relatively inexperienced players later in the innings. Bowled him, he's done it. Can't believe it, nor can Ashley Giles. When you watch the replay, you'll see that he puts his hands on his head, as if to say the ball's drifting down the leg side, will I be wided? Just the opposite. Spun back and hit the stump. Matthew Church goes.
Yes, Matthew Church getting his left leg a bit too far in front of the wickets, but that ball just hitting in the rough, just turning enough to clip the leg stump. That turned a bit.
Church goes for 25, it's 102 for 4. Matt Windows is the new batsman. Good player, been in good touch of late too. Only got into the Gloucestershire side about 6 weeks ago on a regular basis. Had been ignored for most of the season, and has come in and made some good runs.
Quite carrying. Dougie Brown, the fielder, behind square on the offside. Very difficult to judge that chance.
And really Gloucestershire resorting to some extravagant tactics, but they are certainly required. The run rate's up nearly up to 9.5 and over, 9.37, and that's the end. Good bowling, the pressure was building.
Matt Windows goes, clean bowl by Ashley Giles. The run rate required too much for Gloucestershire. Windows stepping back, giving himself some room. A little bit of turn for Giles. The off stump goes back. Gloucestershire 5 down now for 122, and their situation looking hopeless. Windows goes for 5. It's 122 for 5. That's a big hit, but Penny's out at long on and makes no mistake. Warwickshire get one step closer to the AXA Life League title. Elaine goes for 29, and Gloucestershire now 6 down for 129.
Gloucestershire crying up near 11 runs and over. Not much the captain can do. Mark Elaine, he has to give it a go. He doesn't quite connect it. Trevor Penny takes the catch. Gloucestershire 129 for 6.
Robert Cunliffe in at number 8 for Gloucestershire, specialist batsman. So Gloucestershire may still think they have some hope, but it's a pretty thin thread in which their chances now hang. 10.73 per over they require, a further 93 runs. Giles in his 5th over, 3 for 17. Cheers in the crowd Recognising the result at Headingley, which has gone Warwickshire's way, Yorkshire having beaten the league leaders Kent, all Warwickshire have to do now is win this match. And a few latecomers coming along to enjoy the celebrations. In the air, brilliant catch. That summed up Warwickshire's day. Dougie Brown's the man at mid-on. Gloucestershire 7 down now. The AXA Life Trophy is heading to Edgbaston. Martin Ball makes his way off the field. A valiant attempt by him. He injured his ankle while fielding earlier in the piece, completed his 8 overs with the ball, but couldn't get it over Dougie Brown. That's a fine catch diving forward, one of the most difficult to take. Martin Ball goes for 6. It's now 136 for 7. Ashley Giles in his 6th over. He has 3 for 19 now. And he's gone as well. Neil Smith, the captain. The crowd beginning to celebrate here at Edgbaston. Gloucestershire now 8 down for 136. And the home side just a breath away from another trophy for the Warwickshire sideboard.
Gloucestershire very much fighting a losing battle at the moment. This is all they can really do. They need 12 runs and over. And he comes down the wicket and lofts the ball and it's caught mid-wicket.
Chris Reed goes for a duck. Gloucestershire now almost down and out. It's 136 for 8.
There we are, the Dancing Bears supporters. And so they should. The disappointment last week of losing the NatWest final just exactly a week ago today. Got him! That's the Donald that we know and that Warwickshire love. Fantastic performance from the great fast bowler and a bear hug. Quite literally, first from Keith Piper and then doubtless from many more. Here they come to celebrate the man that's flying home, playing his last game of the season, and this is how good he is.
Yes, you can see him giving himself a little bit of room to hit it over extra cover and being really beaten by the pace of Alan Donald.
Pretty decent bit of bowling. Really is marvellous to see a player be adopted in the way that he has and respond accordingly. Amazing to see where Mike Smith can squirt the ball if he chooses to. Been a great amount of success up here at Edgbaston in the last 5 years or so. Begun, of course, in the days when Dermot Reeve and Bob Woolmer were running the side. These days, Tim Munton is club captain but hasn't played this season. Phil Neal is coach. Andy Moles in a leadership capacity. Nick Knight. Oh, that's it! The AXA Life League title goes to Warwickshire. They win £42,000. And they've won today by the massive margin of 71 runs.
So in the end, it was a piece of cake for Warwickshire.
Women in particular.